In The Marriage of Heaven and Hell by William Blake, he writes, "If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Perception is a very interesting thing. One might almost go as far as to say that perception is the dominant force of reality. It is definitely no different amongst the kindred that walk the night." We can keep that in mind as we dive into Blood on the Bayou. The last time we had met with our kindred in New Orleans was at an Elysium. It was during this very Elysium that Mikaela's sire had made the proclamation that Mikaela herself was not of Clan Toreador, at least not officially, but rather a caitiff. After a number of events took place, our coterie had found themselves searching for a, shall we say, displaced Mikaela. We're going to rewind time a little bit. Mikaela, you have just left the eclipse. Stormed out. What is going through Mikaela's mind at the moment?
I am confused. I'm frustrated. I knew that James was going to do this, and yet it still surprised me when he did. I knew that maybe I should have laid my own foundations with my own coterie instead of clinging on to the lie. But no, clearly it's James' fault. Clearly, it's not Mikaela's fault. It's not my fault. Everything was going super well before James had showed up. Clearly, it's his fault. And so I run away, frustrated, leaving the eclipse. That's what's going through my mind.
The internal monologue and processes that you are running through as you find yourself storming out on your way to the parking lot are not the only thing that enters you, shall we say. The pain is brief, but intense
Mhm.
as you find yourself unable to move. In the blink of an eye, you had become surrounded by three individuals, which you have never seen before. Each of them wearing what at one time were potentially respectable or standard clothing, but to your frozen expression and open eyes, which can see and record everything, it is quite easy to see that these people's clothing are stained with old blood, ripped in certain places. You're quite happy, or would be at this point in time, that as kindred, you do not need to breathe or take in scent unless you feel the urge to, as you imagine that what you would be smelling would be old death upon these three individuals.
Mikaela would. Mikaela was raised as a Toreador. She does not have. I do not have the same. The same repulsive feelings as normal Toreadors, but she does not like the smell. She probably wouldn't like the smell. So, you know,
I imagine not. What followed next, I imagine Mikaela would appreciate even less, as your quite stiff corpse was unceremoniously dumped into the open trunk of a beat up old Ford, inside of which were, shall we say, leftovers. And you were driven out to a location in the darkness that is in this trunk. What's going through your head now?
fear. I'm terrified. I am scared. And all that's going through my head is James. Calling out to James. Because when you're in danger, you call out for the person that you want to help you the most. But of course, as I'm staked and can't move, no sound comes out of Mikaela's mouth. But she's screaming in her head.
It doesn't take very long, or does it? Time is an odd thing when you're in a terror panic. But eventually you are released from this trunk and brought through what looks to be some kind of motel in a back entrance. There is a cellar door, perhaps for storage or some such. You are brought down into the cellar. You can see that the floors bear the telltale marks of blood that people have definitely been brought down here in various different states. The storage cellars itself, not too big, but it appears as if the back wall of it has been broken down and tunneled into. You're brought deeper underground. You are paralyzed, but you have your eyes. Would you make a wits and awareness roll for me, please?
For sure. That is 3 successes.
3 successes. 3 successes is enough. It's not so much what you are seeing. At certain areas in this cavern that has been dug out and reinforced, there are symbols that seem to have been drawn on some of the walls here, likely in blood. There are sounds coming to you of pain, and before you are brought into a side holding cell of some sorts, you catch a glimpse of something that you had seen in a vision. A deep pit dug into the earth. People, it's not so easy to judge the number of people that you can see that are around this pit, but at least 3. They seem to be wearing some form of tattered ceremonial robes. There are hooks attached to a ceiling above this pit, and there's the sound of pain coming from inside it. You had seen a vision of this before, shown to you by the Lightbringer. Whatever is going on here is almost an act against creation itself. You are brought into this holding cell and sat down on a chair where you are chained up. And a man who you have seen pictures of, a one Michael Morrison, comes into the room and removes the stake from your chest and pats it. The hole that has been left there. I apologize for theatrics, but I had to get my boy here somehow. You don't need to worry too much either. So, we're doing all of this for you as well.
Doing all of what?
Oh, we have a chance here We can be remade, reborn, you see. Reborn to something better, something more. We're doing all of this for him. And once he gets what he wants, then we can be human again. First, we have to accept his gifts.
I apologize. I do not really enjoy playing the pronoun game. Who is he?
Oh, well, I think you know his name as Brian Davids. That's not his real name. Or at least, that's not his real name. I think he's had many over the centuries. I think you've seen him before, haven't you?
Someone like him, probably. Not really
Well,
him, no.
well. And he sort of like gets down on his almost into a squat position, so he can kind of like look at you eye level. You have a chance here, Mikaela. You have a chance to break free of these chains that they've put on you.
I believe the only chains on me right now are the ones that you put on me.
Well, those are just for now. We'll give you a little bit of time. You don't have to be like them, like any of these clans, as they call themselves. You can be something new or old. I don't know. It's difficult to. I was never really given the option of studying up on kindred history, but we were around before, and we're making a bit of a comeback now. But you'll understand if you make the choice.
Are you done talking now?
I think so. Sometimes I'm not sure, you know. Does that ever happen to you?
I tend to talk a lot when I'm trying to bullshit my way out of things.
I like you. But we'll catch up. I think your friends are gonna arrive soon. I'm so excited to see my boy again. Just going to put this on quickly. See, tries to put a gag in your mouth. I'll be back soon.
Mikaela just nods.
The man vacates the room, and you are in this holding cell under the ground. And we're gonna transition to everyone outside, as this is not too long after this event. Roughly 30 minutes have passed since your chat with Michael Marson, Mikaela. But we come back to the scene that we had left at a motel on a very, very quiet street between, well, on the drive from New Orleans towards Coterie. 2 floors, a swimming pool in the center. Nothing to write home about, but serviceable. All of you had pulled up in your various vehicles, and done a little bit of investigating. The area underneath the swimming pool itself had given off an aura of barely contained sin. After mist had begun seeping from the balconies, covering the area in this unnatural whiteness. One or two of you had narrowly dodged a greenish reddish flame. And you had heard a voice in the air of Quinn's sire. We pick up right here. So, what I would like from everybody, please, would you kindly tell me in order? We'll start with yourself, Alex, with Nikolai. Which would be higher for you, wits and etiquette or manipulation and etiquette?
Wits and etiquette.
How many dots would that be?
5.
5 dots. How about yourself, Elijah?
Dice pool's the same at 3.
All right. Quinn?
Trouble seeing the thing here.
It was wits and etiquette, or
Wits and etiquette or manipulation etiquette. Just
Oh,
how
I
many
don't have any of
dots
those,
do you have?
So I have 2.
Two.
Definitely do not have etiquette.
James?
4.
4. Sakura?
4.
All right. Kira? 2. Excellent. So we are going to try and operate this in a sort of loose 3 and out kind of situation, as it were. But we are going to follow a bit of an order of operations here, with Nikolai being the first to go. The situation as it stands, you had heard 3 to 4 other sounds around coming from this motel's balcony that is on the second floor, and you had heard the voice of Quinn's sire.
And at the moment, if I remember correctly, which I hopefully am, because I did watch the season finale before going to bed last night, I'm over by the car right now where we found the body parts. And Sora's over there, I believe, as well. And I think Elijah may have come over there as well. Okay.
Yes, and I believe Sakura and James were closer to the swimming pool area, as well as Quinn, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. All right. And all of the sounds, including the voice of Quinn's sire, appear to be coming from the balcony area? Or is it his voice is coming from one location and then there were other sounds up on the balcony?
It's difficult to pinpoint exactly, just because of visibility, but you can make a wits and awareness roll for me if you would like to try and
believe that I will, my friend. Believe that I will. I'm better at that than wits and etiquette, so of course I'm going to roll them dice.
Mikaela, also give me that same dice pool for yourself, please. What
Mikaela?
is your, yes, what would be higher for yourself, wits and etiquette or manipulation and etiquette? And how many dots?
For etiquette. Where is that? Or manipulation, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Where is my manipulation?
I mean, if that's not high, I'll be very surprised.
So is it wits and etiquette or manipulation and etiquette?
Whichever one's
Yes,
higher.
your choice. Whichever one's
So
higher.
it's wits and etiquette is higher. 5.
Okay, very good.
Hey,
So I roll it or
somebody
just
ties
wait?
with me on knowing how to behave.
How many successes was that, Nikolai?
That is 5 successes on the awareness check.
5 successes. Very good. So, trying to pinpoint via sound, you would judge that perhaps there are 3 on the balcony areas, because it's sort of like one of those L-shaped motels, and then the check-in, not room, reception is what I'm going for, but it's not really reception, but it's sort of a smaller detached one, ground floor house thing that's off to the right side of the swimming pool as well. So you can judge that sort of on the left side balcony, there's maybe one person somewhere in the larger section, the one that is right across from the swimming pool. There's roughly 2 people. The voice of Quinn's sire, that is closer to the swimming pool, but it sounds like it's higher up.
So, silently, Nikolai is going to communicate that actually to Sora and Elijah. He's just going to kind of reach over, tap both of them to get their attention. He's going to hold up one finger, point up to the one balcony, 2 fingers up to the other balcony, and 1 finger with a thumbs up into the direction of where he is pretty sure he heard the sire's voice coming from.
You have these directions. You can't necessarily completely make out what's going on over there because of the mist that is obscuring everything, but you have directions.
And with that, let me just double check something here real quick. Character sheet. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rouse dexterity. And I do not get hungrier. And then I'm going to attempt to move as silently as possible. And let me just make sure that, because he does have some side disciplines. Okay, I do not have obfuscate, so I can't do silence of death. Yeah, just going to generally try to start quietly making my way. And I would assume, based on the layout, that the pool probably sits between where we are and where I believe Quinn's sire to be. Is that
That's
correct?
sort of an accurate understanding. You do know, we'll mention again, because it's been a while, but the pool itself was empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, I know that's where the others are located. So I'm going to quietly, as best as I can, start making my way towards the remainder of the Coterie who is over by the pool, so that I can try to pass on the same information to them that I passed on to Sora and Elijah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, dexterity and stealth for you, please.
I'm going to spend a willpower on that. And thankfully, since the sheets we're using, I actually realize how much willpower I have. Okay, that's much better. 6 successes with a crit.
Very nice. Okay. Sorry to make this a silly tech nightmare for you, but you can actually also put Mikaela on the screen there.
Oh, it's not a tech nightmare at all for me. I have multiple things set up already, so welcome back to the screen, Mikaela.
Beautiful. All right, Mikaela, you have been left alone for a roughly 30 minutes. Are you attempting to do anything during this time?
I'm attempting to break out to see if I can do it.
Okay.
Just like first, just strength. I'm not very strong, but I'm gonna try first. Maybe it isn't as strong as I think it would be.
All right. So you have these sort of handcuffs like behind your back and everything, but you can definitely try a strength and brawl if you would like.
All right. It is a bestial failure.
A bestial failure. All right. Very nice.
Excellent.
Roll a d10 for me, please.
That is a 6.
6. Okay. One moment, please. I'm gonna find my damn right page here. I had it 2 seconds ago. Yes, but interesting. Okay. So currently you are feeling the panic inside yourself, and the beast is riled up. How dare they? How dare they put you here in this place after the night that you have had, after the time that you had, after having your secret, which you were forced to keep for years, being revealed, and then after all the audacity of throwing you in a trunk to transport you, filled with body parts. Someone is getting hurt. You are under the compulsion to destroy, incapacitate, or drive away a target, anyone that appears within your vision. But and so you are going to do everything in your power to make that happen, which is
Sweet.
very appropriate.
Sounds about right.
All right. So James and Sakura, you are acting in concert.
So if I can hear him, is it fair to say he can hear me?
I would say that's fair.
Okay. So I am going to rouse my, what is it? I believe it is composure. I failed that. And I am going to use compel via irresistible voice. And with the command, don't move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5 successes. And to oppose that, they roll
Intelligence and resolve.
intelligence and resolve.
I forget, does that combo apply to anybody in earshot, or is it
don't
able to be
know.
directed?
If it's
It's compel, so I don't know if compel is a one target or multi.
I think
It's
it's
one.
one target.
yeah, compels
Okay.
one target unless you have mass manipulation,
Mhm.
which is 5.
Okay.
Try to put blood dots.
Just want to make sure I
It's
wasn't
been a
going to be stopping
while.
dead in my tracks.
Sakura yells. Everyone stops.
Freeze tag, I win.
Burn a willpower.
And I should mention that she sounds angrier than you have ever heard her when she shouts out, "Don't move."
So you hear the voice come back. It's like, "Oh, that's very rude to tell people what to do in their own place of worship. That's so rude of you. No. I think I'll keep doing exactly what I'm doing. Thank you.
So do I gather it didn't work?
Well, that was 7 successes.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
8
it's-
successes.
All right.
Next up, James.
So, we haven't had the opportunity, Sakura and I, to hear. I am forgetting names so hard today. Nikolai, tell us where the voice was coming from, right? We haven't heard that yet.
Nikolai's making his way to you, so not quite yet.
I
But
don't.
if you would like, you can make your own wits and awareness roll.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Hold on. Got 2 hunger. I'm so used to playing Hunter now. Hunger dice freak me out.
Trader. Wait, what?
I'm going to knock on a willpower there. Hold on. 5 successes with a crit.
Alrighty. You definitely get the same sort of information that Nikolai got not too long ago. You also, being closer to the pool, are able to sort of like pick out that the voice that you just heard is kind of above you a bit.
Like floating in the air above me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding a shotgun, right?
You are.
Can I just point and shoot?
You can. There is a penalty because of the obscured vision. So you know the DC is a bit higher, but you can definitely aim.
All right.
So that would be a dexterity in firearms for you.
I have Dex roused right now. But I'd also like to turn on Fleetness.
Very good.
One of those is success, so that's success. Which means I have another 3 die to this. Now, Dex is this. Firearms is this. How many dice is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 dice.
That's a fair amount of dice.
It's going to be such a waste. There's nothing there. It's... well, I only got 2 successes, so hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Sheet. Okay, so thanks to another 10, that's 6 successes.
6 successes.
With a crit.
All right. So, you with the penalty, it's like a 3 penalty for that. So 3 of those sort of get knocked off there. But let's see if they can soak any of that there. Let me examine the roll. Okay, so the shotgun blasts out, and you definitely hear an impact as something is hit and does get pushed back by the strength of the shotgun blast. And you hear a bit of a slam against the railing of the balcony. You have successfully shot something. And they take a point of superficial damage.
Excellent. Can I also turn on Daunt? Which...
yeah, I guess. Sure, why not? All right. Next up, Elijah, it's your go, and then Quinn and Sora will act simultaneously after Elijah.
Since Nikolai pointed out where the others are on the balcony, that's actually where he's gonna go. and since he can't really see, I think he's just gonna try and move as speedy as he can. Because in my notes it said he had fleetness activated from last episode.
I believe you had, yes.
He's also hunger
Speedy,
3.
speedy. Very good. All right. So you are moving up there as quickly as you can. And once you get up there, you can also make a wits and awareness roll for me. Are you headed to the other side of the pool or the sort of left side balcony?
Left side balcony.
Okay, that's what I thought.
6 with a messy crit.
Very, very good. Yes. Even through the obscured vision, you are able to just make out someone. They are close to the edge of where one of the balconies are, sort of like, and it looks as if they are close enough to like an open door which leads into one of these motel rooms.
Any
That you are able to find this
distinguishing
person.
characteristics I can make out?
Appears to be female. Definitely, I would say, not like well kept as far as this person's clothing goes.
Does it look
The-
like Mikaela though, right?
It does not. No, this particular woman, her hair is kind of reddish. It is sort of like looks as if she has almost like an asymmetrical bob going on at one stage. You can tell that her clothing was probably once really nice, but it's definitely covered in blood.
Cool.
And actually, with a 6, with crit, you move up there fast enough to make out that on this woman's exposed arms
Mhm.
are also glyphs of some sort, which seem to have been that look as if they were made by using a knife. So it is sort of like cut into her own flesh, as it were.
So I roused for a thing. I passed the thing. I also roused for my dexterity because I am going to unerring aim shoot this woman,
All right.
which means my difficulty is 1. Five successes.
5 successes. 5 successes.
And she
Let's see.
cannot dodge
She cannot dodge. All
unless
right.
she has celerity 5.
This particular person does not have celerity 5, but they can try and soak some. They can dodge, but they can try and soak some. What type of weapon are you using?
Shotgun.
Shotgun. All right. So 5, the margin is 2. All right. So
Yeah, because the target
3
can make no
points.
roll to dodge nor defend.
All right. So that would be this woman suffers 3 points of superficial damage. Excellent. All righty. That is your go. So we are up to Sora and Sakura that are here in this order.
Wait, Sora is Sakura?
Oh,
Or
sorry. Yes. So, no, sorry. Sora and Quinn.
okay. Quinn, you want to go first?
No, you're good.
Okay. In that case, given the piece of information given by Nikolai, they'll nod, make their way forward towards where the balcony is, and then they're just going to soaring leap to the balcony. And then once they get on top of the balcony, they're going to see the individual there. I'm presuming they would have heard the shotgun blast come.
You all heard the shotgun blast, yes.
So most likely we would have seen the lady there. And I think, can I tell by seeing her if she's kindred or human?
Yes, you can, in the sense that the shotgun blast has left quite a big hole in this person, but they are still fine. So if they were human, nah, but
yeah. In that case, they know the level of severity they need to bring forward. So, of course, they roused with prowess earlier. So they're going to go ahead and essentially knock this lady into torpor as best as they can by giving them a dial 4x to this lady's chin.
Alrighty. Go for it.
Yes. That would be 10.
Poppity pop pop pop.
Yep. Pop pop pop. Monk style. Beep. 8 with the crit.
My goodness.
Yes.
8 with a crit.
Sora had that glow up.
Did indeed. Does Sora have lethal body?
No. But it would apply to them anyway because they're kindred. I think more lethal body only applies to mortals.
I'm going to double check that, but I can't quite remember. All right. Very nice. There's not that much. So yeah, all right. 8 successes. Yeah. So let me do some math here quickly. But Quinn, why don't you tell us what you're gonna do while I have a look here quick.
Sorry. Well, Quinn's just kind of I think concern's the wrong word for it. He having knowledge that his sire may be within not really arm's reach, but close enough to reach out and possibly touch, has given him a new lease on life. And Quinn is well, I would use after I spent my XP while we were gone, but none of that was done, so he wouldn't have had any of this stuff prepared beforehand. Yeah, so we're not going to worry about that. But Quinn's going to rush. Quinn's going to get out a shotgun, and as he's rushing, toward making his best way up the stairs to get to, the balcony, since he doesn't have the ability to jump, and he didn't prepare any of his new toys to be able to overcome the obstacles a little bit easier. So he's gonna. How long would it take him to get up there to where Sora?
Which toy would you have prepared? As you had been sitting on XP for some time, so I am not going to penalize you for taking your time to make up decisions. Is there something you would have prepared?
Well, he has Stenveld Alchemy 4, so at tier 4, the formula anyway from alchemy is called airborne momentum. Basically, lets you fly. He would have had one of those around as for an emergency situation. And the others were just.
Would you like to do that?
That would probably be better, especially because since he knew, and he's looking for his sire, and he knows his sire is in play looking for him and trying to screw things up. He's going to have everything at his disposal he can manage because he wants to
Damn
take
right he is.
Take him.
What is your potion look like, by the way?
Well, he likes to carry things around and not, I want to say, they're not super small, but also not like, super breakable either. Because, things happen and you don't want to be just like busting into, like, you don't want to carry around a bunch of little like glass test tubes and then you go, that'd be bad.
Powerade bottles.
Yeah, well, those are a little too big too. He likes to use flasks. That way at least he kind of looks like an alcoholic when he's doing it.
Nice. All right. So you down this, and it is not something any of your coterie mates have seen before from you, but Quinn begins to take to the air. And you are headed in the which balcony? The buildings are, because it's like the L shape there. The longer portion, which was directly across from the pool, or to the left-hand side.
Well, not having the best wits and awareness. I mean, he has mediocre wits and awareness. So, and he knows that he is not a combat machine like some of the others. So Quinn's probably just going to try to follow Sora's lead, and with his shotgun out, and try to let the other beefier coterie mates maybe get in the front line, so that he doesn't just get completely
So
demolished.
this is how this plays out. Elijah very quickly gets up there, unleashes the shotgun blast. Sora and Quinn are acting simultaneously. After the shotgun blast, this kindred is reeling and trying to recover herself. And Sora comes in and Superman punches her against the wall, sending her into Torpor. And here comes Quinn flying with a shotgun. Would you like to roll that?
Well, I mean, if I can clearly see the effects of Sora's, fisting, for lack of better.
Can we get a rephrase on that, please?
Phrasing.
I mean, she got fisted real good.
No.
That's all. I mean, she did. He punched her with his. They punched her.
But it was in like the
fist,
chest, right? Like not. Yeah, it was right in the chest. And
They fisted him in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now there's probably a giant hole there from the shotgun blast, right?
Indeed,
you gotta make sure you don't, because I guess if that would be a good way to miss, right? You miss and it just goes through the hole.
It just goes straight through. That's some Dawn of the Dead stuff right there.
It's some Kung Pao stuff.
That's true.
I mean, Quinn's cognizant enough to probably hold his shot. Does he recognize the person that just got blasted and beat up?
You are now close enough that you do recognize this person. It's not somebody that you know, but your PI friend had been keeping tabs on similar cases to your own where people had died and or gone missing. And this particular woman was in one of the case files. You have no personal connection to her, but you remember that she is one of the people that went missing. And her family had been killed in a similar fashion to yours.
Oh, okay. So she's my sister, in a manner of speaking.
In a manner of speaking.
Well, I mean, he probably doesn't think of her like that, obviously. But seeing as she's no immediate threat, he's gonna hold his fire, and look to Sora. Hey, is there any, did you see anyone else? Is this I think I recognize this person. I think she's one of the people I think she's maybe one of the people my sire was making.
Oh, well, I didn't see anyone, and they're trying to like as she's recoiling from the punch. They're going to try to grab her by the collar so she doesn't fall over the balcony. Especially as Quinn announces that they have a sort of connection. Like,
when you had punched this person, they had sort of like gone flying back and slammed against one of the walls that's closer to the doorway. So
Okay.
if they would slump forward, sort of like here onto the balcony side.
Okay, perfect. I didn't see anyone else. Did you, Elijah?
Collier said there was 2 more somewhere.
Yeah, I
She-
guess we could.
She torpor?
I think so. And they'll look down and make sure that.
This person's chest has very much caved in, so it's highly likely.
Yeah, she'll be out for a while.
We should search her just to be. Maybe she has something we can use to track them.
So Quinn, while you are up here, as you are not gonna blast right now, you can just make a wisdom awareness roll for me to see what else you hear, and then it is going to be some of their turns. So Sakura and James, as you are close enough to the swimming pool area there, you do hear the voice again. It's very rude. Very, very.
Where is Mikaela?
Well, should we try to control people?
Can't hear you, Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
You shouldn't try and control people anymore. That's not very, very.
They sure as hell ain't controlling you. So where is she?
We'll
Or I
get
swear
to Mikaela. I would like both Sakura and James to please make me intelligence and cold roll.
One success.
One moment, please. 4 successes. And I'm very glad that one didn't crit, because that would have been bad.
4 successes. All right. Neat. All right, they get 6 successes. So Sakura and James, as Michael Morrison has said these words into your ear, we'll get to that. You feel something stirring inside yourself. Sakura, what would you feel would be Sakura's definition of the most shameful part of herself? What does she feel the most shame for? Shameful and or sinful or dangerous?
Adrian, here's a question before.
Yes.
Would Enswable Mind have had effect on this?
No,
All right.
it does not have an effect on this.
That's all right.
At the moment, Sakura would believe that the most shameful thing she's done is, for this exact moment, is be mad at Mikaela for something that wasn't her fault.
Interesting. How about James?
Oh, James is filled with flashbacks of his past, walking alongside a thin, stunning, red-headed woman as a ghoul, not as a vampire, helping her ensnare people in order to kill them, cleaning up bodies, laughing over a corpse drained of its blood, alongside this stunning woman who happens to be his eventual sire.
Sakura and James. Right in front of you, Sakura, appears swirling out of the mist in a flash of this greenish, reddish fire, the form of Mikaela. It is not actually Mikaela itself. Sakura does not know this, but Glyza, based upon what Sakura has just said, how would Mikaela attack Sakura? What would she say to her? Oh, you made me muted.
I don't have to tell you everything. We're not that close of a friend.
That would hit.
Sakura, right at this point in time, you are very convinced that this is Mikaela, and she's getting into it with you right now. James, you, however, are witnessing rising up out of the ground from dead bodies, bodies of people that you killed, that you drained. 3, 4, 5 of these victims shambling towards you, pleading eyes, all grasping onto you and saying, "Why did you do it? I had a family. These are my children," as somebody's holding up a wallet with photos in it, as you are mobbed by this group of people. Both of you are currently pitted against these apparitions and are able to act against them right now, but nothing else for the moment. As for Elijah, Quinn, and Sora, it doesn't take too long before you hear movement coming your way from others, as almost as fast as you are, Elijah, almost as fast as you are, somebody blinks next to you and is going to attempt to stab you.
He is going to dodge. And I get to add my... Is that Dex and Athletics?
Indeed.
Cool, and because I have Fleetness, I get to add my Celerity score.
You do indeed. Oh, yes. Here. Oh, not a very good stabby attempt here. 3 successes.
7, no crit.
it is without issue, as you are able to move away very, very quickly. However, Sora, standing where you are, I would like you please to make a dexterity and occult roll for me, please.
Wait, dexterity and a cold? Oh, okay, interesting. Would a swayable mind come into this?
No.
Okay.
Rapid reflexes with that.
Oh no, that don't happen. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what? Just to be on the safe side.
Definitely gonna burn a willpower on that.
Okay.
So
5
that is
successes.
Stupid. All right. There is a burst of this greenish, reddish flame right by your feet as you are holding onto the collar of this torpored woman, as you very quickly jump back and the flames themselves sort of die and simmer down. But these people are right on you. And we now come back to Nikolai and Mikaela for the second part of our 3 and out.
And Mikaela.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Take the lead, yo.
All right, Mikaela, you are pissed.
Uh-oh.
I am angry. So sorry, would you paint the picture again for me, please?
Yes, you were taken into this holding cell. Nobody has locked you in here, but you have been handcuffed behind this, a chair. So you have your hands sort of like through the, I wouldn't call them bars in the chair, but what the heck would I call them? Either way, the poles on the back of this chair. So your hands were through there and they're handcuffed. And they did was like handcuff your feet to the bottom of this chair as well. But the chair is not bolted to the ground or anything like that. And you have this gag that has been tied around your mouth.
All right. I am biting through the gag and I'm pissed. I am screaming through the gag and I'm very, very angry.
All right. Why don't you... I'm going to say, because of the anger aroused by this compulsion here, you can go ahead and try that strength and brawl again to see how your anger affects things here, but you may add 2 dice.
All right. That is a 3 success, with one of them with my hunger. So that's what does that mean?
Nothing yet. No.
Okay.
Nothing yet. 3 successes. With 3 successes, you are definitely able to, in sort of like a feral kind of rage, rip through some of this. Oh gosh, I just said the word 3 seconds ago. Freaking gag around your mouth.
Yeah, sure.
And you are sort of trying to not necessarily break out of the handcuffs, but to sort of try and begin to start trying to destroy this chair in your fits of anger here. And it's getting there.
May I also attempt to just dislocate my fingers so I could take my hands out of the cuffs?
You know what? Sure, you can sort of like anger do that. Let me think. I want to say you're doing it in anger, so I want to say it's strength, but we're going to go for dex for this. We'll say dexterity and larceny.
Larceny, well, that's just 2. All right. it's just 2 altogether. If you have 0 on your dice, that's just 0, right? You don't add it.
No, you add it.
Well, it's 0. Like I don't have anything in larceny, so
Oh yeah. So I mean, you don't you don't add anything like that.
Yeah.
You can always try and
it is a 1 success at least. So out of the 2,
one success. You're maybe still, well, you're definitely still far too angry to understand how to do this properly right
Yeah.
now. So it's not quite working.
Yeah. Basically, like in her anger, she's like pulling her hands out, whether it hurts or not, whether it's successful or not. She's trying to get the cuffs off of her hand so she'll have more
Yeah.
control in getting the other parts off. That is what she is doing.
I will say with one success, you're partway there and you
Okay.
take 1 point of superficial damage.
Awesome.
It's less that you are dislocating your finger and more that in this compulsive anger, you are kind of almost pulling your finger off through this handcuff.
Yeah.
You're too angry to think about the pain.
Yeah.
Nikolai.
I am
Is your
screaming
go.
through this. And it's like profanities that normally doesn't come out of Mikaela's mouth, but very angry profanities.
Very, very angry profanities.
The point of clarification. There is a bunch of stuff going on, obviously. But considering Mikaela is screaming and yelling, is there any chance that we hear Mikaela screaming and yelling?
There's a chance. It's a slim chance, but you are definitely able to roll a wits and awareness if you like.
Of course.
I will give everyone this chance. A lot is happening, and you would need quite a lot of successes, as Mikaela is not easily accessible above ground.
Does this count if I think she's right in front of me?
Actually, Sakura, no, you don't roll because Mikaela's
That's
in
what I
front of
thought,
you.
yeah.
Mikaela's
She's
being
giving you the
mean to you.
business.
It's like we're not really good friends. I don't know what made you think we were. I lied to you all of our lives together.
Damn. This is just mean.
This is what the power does.
Is this spell called Mean Friend?
I'm going to use my discipline. It's called I Hate All My Friends.
Make them fight.
I'm not seeing Mikaela. Can I roll?
You are not seeing Mikaela. You are compelled to fight these visions at the moment, but that doesn't mean that you don't have ears. So you can still roll, yes.
I have 8 successes with a crit.
Ooh, it's
8
5.
successes.
Just 5 from me.
I have 8 successes with a messy crit.
Oh, I like that.
All right. 5 for Sora. Quinn?
Quinn?
4.
4. All right. Elijah?
Elijah's a little preoccupied with wanting to shoot this man in the face for attempting to stab him.
That's fair. That's fair.
Aka just 1 success. He's preoccupied.
So, Nikolai, a lot is happening. 8 successes with the crit is very good. It's not so much that you would really recognize that it's Mikaela, though, just because of the way that the acoustics work and it be underground. But you can definitely hear, not from your location where you are, from behind the building that is behind the swimming pool. There are very inhuman, angry screams that you could pick out coming from that direction.
Well, if it's not Mikaela, it's another victim. So that gives me a point of direction. At that point, I'm going to activate an ability. And I succeeded my rouse check, so I am not hungrier. But over the course of this turn, we get some Stranger Things season 4 style body horror going on as Nikolai starts changing. These large bone protrusion spikes rip out of his elbows, piercing through his shirt. His knees snap, all nasty Vecna style like, going backwards into kind of an inverted direction. A carapace starts forming and these kind of shimmery scales across his flesh. And his general countenance starts taking on more of the form of a dragon as his clothing is shredded from his body as his mass further increases, because the 4 things that I'm going to use for vicissitude modifications, since I have 4 protean here, are going to be 2 free redistributes, which means rather than needing to move points around, I just get to dump points in, and that's going to be for strength and dexterity. I will be doing a point of weapons, which will add more to his damage and is what's giving him the bone spikes that are starting to protrude out of his body. And we will also be using armor for the final one, which gives him 2 points of armor that have formed over his body via the scales. And I don't know if you'll let me activate 2 powers at once. Otherwise, I will just do the next one next turn. But he's also going to be activating feral weapons so that his hands turn into massive claws.
I'll allow it.
All right, let me roll for that one too. I
Mostly
do get
because you
hungrier for
might
that
get
one.
hungry.
Yeah, I do get hungrier for that one, but that only puts, because Nikolai's a fucking murderer, up to 1 hunger.
Wonderful, wonderful.
But that takes a whole turn for the transformation to kick in, so he's just kind of convulsing and his body is ripping itself apart over the course of this turn.
Beautiful. We love to see it. We love to see it. James and Sakura, you are compelled to fight with these visions. And James, with your messy crit, you do hear Mikaela. But the thing is that each of these victims, each and every single one of them, have now become Mikaela. And they're all accusing you of taking away their humanity, their life.
This is your fault. This is your fault. You did this to me. I was fine for a long time. This is your fault. Whatever's happening now is your fault.
You know something, Sire. You have never been fine. And I'm going to just start shooting them.
Oh!
Fair enough, fair enough. Go ahead and roll some shotgun. Some shotgun damage. Sakura, how are you feeling?
There's 2 different ways Sakura could respond to this. And so I made an internal composure roll. And so Sakura stands completely still, like in utter shock for a minute, before just like standing up a little taller and responding to her with, "You're right, you don't owe me anything, but I owe you an apology and I'm sorry." And she is going to try and compel her to come.
the compel does not do what you would want it to do. But how would the Mikaela react to a feeling of Sakura attempting to use powers on her?
How dare you?
This isn't the first time we've done it to each other. We know that for a fact. And she's gonna just keep trying without knowing, like not knowing that it's not working. It's
Fair
just
enough.
different commands of just like relax, calm, chill.
Again, you think you have influence over me because we're friends. But we are not friends. You don't owe me anything. Because that would mean we would have a relationship in the first place.
You're mad right now, and I understand that. And I will let you say your piece. And she's going to continue just like dodging insults. Because I did get a 5 with a crit on my internal composure roll.
Fair enough.
So.
James, high or low?
High or low what?
High or low?
Let's go with low.
All right. Fire if you're shut down, and thankfully do not hit Sakura.
That's too bad. I could use someone being hurt
Thanks.
right now. So, if I'm firing off my...
Yeah, you are firing off your shotgun, yes.
7 successes to do so. If I'm not hitting Sakura, I'm assuming that I'm actually not hitting anything. Can James tell that none of these are hitting?
To your eyes, you are hitting these things, the horde of Mikaelas, and they are going down, but for each one that goes down, another one rises.
This is
You think you can just make me go away? Like all of your secrets? James,
You're
I'm
not
never going
real.
anywhere.
You're not real. I drop the shotgun, put my hands out.
So both Sakura and James, make another intelligence and occult roll here to see if you are able to break out of this. Actually, sorry, not intelligence and occult. Roll your unspent willpower.
Unspent willpower.
Yes.
Four, including the crit.
That is a 3.
A 3. I would say that James is able to start coming to his senses on his next turn. Sakura, not quite yet. This is a level 4 ability, so I think 4 is good easy. Yes, but Elijah, you are attempting to do horrible things to the person who just dared to try and stab you.
He's just gonna crack a smile because if he can hear Nikolai changing, he's just gonna grin because he has a feeling he knows what it is. And he's gonna try and unerring aim shoot this guy in the face.
I mean, yeah, they are right there.
My God.
And probably growling and screaming a lot as the transformation happens.
Dragon Ball Z style, but painful.
And would I be
probably
classified
disgusting.
as close range?
You would be classified as close range, yes. They
Ooh, I
they
don't
just
like
tried to stab you.
So 4 successes, because that's at difficulty 1, plus the damage for the shotgun at close range is +4.
They're also unable to dodge, correct?
Not unless they have celerity 5.
They do not have celerity 5, but we'll try and see if they're so good.
They wish they had celerity.
You bring up the shotgun, and you are very close to this person, and you are actually able to blow a whole chunk of their head out, leaving them in torpor. Almost final death.
He's going to shoot them while they're on the ground.
I mean, that is entirely doable. This kindred suffers the final death.
Shotgun blast, point blank to the face, just head gone. Ash.
Quinn and
He just kind of like
Sora.
looks at him and goes, "Idiot."
Quinn and Sora. Quinn, you had heard the voice of your baby daddy as he had been speaking to James and Sakura. You're able to pinpoint that direction. It is still very misty, but you're able to pinpoint that direction as you are supermanning it up here.
You said just Quinn heard that, right?
It was sorry, you definitely heard it as well, but you know, there has also just been a shotgun blast too. So you know, I would say you've both heard that, but there has just been another shotgun blast right by you. Thank goodness no one has heightened senses on.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
I think he's this way. And Quinn just starts kind of drifting or flying in that direction.
Where was the direction that the essentially green fart came from, the fire flame?
Yes, there is it is the secondary individual that started making their way. They are a little bit further back, sort of on this L-shaped building here, but they're a bit further back.
All right. While holding the body of one individual, Sora is going to look towards Quinn and says, "I'll join you shortly." And they're going to Superman leap over to where the individual is and smack the individual in the face with the body of their friend.
All right, they will try and dodge here. So Quinn, you're able to get up closer, and you would be able to do something if you'd like. You are roughly close enough to sort of see the shape of your baby daddy.
I can see the shape of him. Well,
Yes.
that's good. If I can see the shape of him, would you say I'm close enough? I'm close enough to be within shotgun range.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna take a pot shot at him.
All right. Go ahead and roll that dexterity and firearms.
Come on.
So on their dodge, they made 3 successes. What was your improvised weapon?
What we're gonna see here. I'm just hoping for. Oh. So. What?
Was that for Quinn or that was for me? My apologies.
Sora you were doing improvised weapon, and Quinn was doing the shotgun blast. So
Gotcha.
2 different rolls, but
Another
you both tell me your
shotgun.
success.
It's so loud out here.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
We definitely haven't woken up the neighbors. It's fine. You got 2 6s and 2 10s.
10s or 0s?
10s. Well, 10s.
Yeah, 10s. Yeah,
10s. Okay.
that's 6
All right.
successes.
Yeah.
With a
That's
crit.
6 successes. Fantastic.
Gotta
And
get
how about yourself?
7 for me.
Oof. Okay. So yeah, you hit relatively hard against this individual. They do manage to dodge a bit of it. So they've taken 4 points of bludgeoning damage. They're superficial. Quinn, um, it seems as if he is currently concentrating on something, obviously, but he does have a sort of a soak pool here because of abilities. Um,
Yeah, soak roll against aggravated.
he has fortitude. He's going to his third willpower. That's hilarious. So it is also 6 successes, but it is enough to sort of break his concentration on what he was doing. And Sakura and James, the Mikaelas, all vanish. And we are back to Nikolai and Mikaela. Why don't we start out with Mikaela?
I agree. Rock and roll,
Uh,
yo.
Mikaela is still trying to get out of this thing and is trying to wreck this chair or wreck her hands.
All right, so strength and brawl. You can still add 2 dice because you are getting increasingly angry.
Strength and brawl. That's 1. That's 3. All right. Well, let's roll this bitch. 3 successes with a crit. Wait. No, just 3 successes. Don't mind me. I'm not.
It's also impossible to have 3 successes with a crit.
Leave me
That would be
alone.
5, right?
It's just
Um,
3 successes. Leave me alone, Nordine.
That's not how
I'm just
math.
reading this stuff here because I don't have my rollers. It just
So
says 3
I'll
successes.
I'll give you the option of what you would prefer to happen. Do you A, succeed in ripping one of your thumbs off, or B, break the chair?
The chair breaks.
The chair breaks
Yes.
and you are on your ass of this broken
Sweet.
chair. You
I'm
have
angrier now
suffered
because I'm embarrassed.
You have suffered some superficial damage from taking the stake to your chest from earlier.
Yeah.
So about 3 points, we'll say, of superficial damage. But the door there is open and you are angry. You are still handcuffed, but your feet are able to move because you are able to. They're still attached by separate handcuffs, but to a broken chair, so you're just able to kind of like.
I'm just dragging a broken chair with me. Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go to open the door and try to find a way out that will lead me to somebody that I can murder immediately.
The closest people that you can remember in your angered state, you're not sure if they would still be there, would be towards the very large pit that had been dug in the ground that you had just barely seen, that is down to the right.
All right, I would go that way.
All right. So you are rushing that way in your anger frenzy, and you are now able to make out that there are indeed 4 people in blood-stained robes. That's definitely of some ritual purpose that
Right.
are around this pit in which you hear these tormented screams coming from.
I would like to do 2 things.
Yes.
The first one, I would go to the nearest one there and kick him into the pit. And then the second one, I would like to bite after I kick the one into the pit. just like straight up. I'm
Bite
like,
the person.
no,
if
I
you're
kick
kicking
some. So I kick someone into the pit, and then the second nearest to me, I just grab and try to bite.
Okay.
If that's too much.
Yes. So let's take care of the first action first. So we'll make that just
I want it to
strength
be
and
like this
brawl.
is Sparta kick. You know,
Yes.
that is what I want to do.
A strength and brawl. You're still under your rage compulsion
Sweet.
here, so you're still able to add 2 dice to that.
All right.
You do not have a lot of reasoning beyond that need that somebody has to get harmed right now. So
that is another 3 successes.
3 successes. You kick this individual, and they do go sprawling and flying into this pit. And the compulsion has now ended. And you have some more sense of what is going on here.
Oh, I still wanted to bite the person.
You can still do that, but you have some more sense of what is going on here.
Okay.
These 4 people that are arranged around this pit
3 now.
are chanting.
Right.
4 were chanting.
Yes.
3 are chanting. The one that you kicked, that dawns on you now, was focused on this chanting completely, and that they did not even try and stop you or recognize your presence there. You can see that all the remaining, the 3 remaining people that are chanting, their bodies are covered in a light greenish red fire. The pit that is in front of you is filled with half alive people in various states of torment. And there is a building greenish red glow that is emanating from this pit, and it is intensifying.
What happened to the guy that fell into the pit? Is he still just chanting?
Not chanting. Would you like to look?
Out of curiosity.
You peer over the edge and you can make out the sort of connections of this cloak as the body of this person seems to have merged and or fused with these writhing, pained figures in
Is
this
he in
pit.
pain? Like, does it look like
Every
he's in pain?
person
right
in this pit is crying out in tortured, tormented pain.
Awesome. I am going to go to the next one and rip their throat out so they stop chanting.
All right. So we'll come. Well, yeah, this sure. I will say go ahead and roll that. Yeah, you're trying to rip their throat out. So this is going to be strength and brawl again.
Dang it, I only have 1.
Yeah, you do not have your anger dice anymore, but you can try rouse if you want to. I don't know if Kate can rouse. You can rouse. You can probably rouse.
All right, well. It is a 1 success. My 1 and only success possible.
1 success. It's really difficult because your hands are handcuffed together.
Of course.
So you've gotten your hand around this person's throat and you are not very successfully trying to rip their throat out, but they are at least partially interrupted. It's not as full force chant as it was. It's more coming out like a gurgle kind of whisper.
All right.
But Nikolai, the
So,
dragon has awoken.
and to assess where we are at this point, I know the one balcony is essentially fully handled because Elijah iced that guy.
Yes.
What we presume to be Quinn's sire has been shot at least a bit by James. And what's up with the second balcony at the moment? I forget. Has anyone actually started dealing with that?
Yes. Sora has used the torpid body of the other individual to slam into.
Yeah, strong arming somebody with their friend's arm. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, knowing where James has been shooting, since I would be up near him at this point, and knowing that from the sounds of it, there was a hit in those shots, Nikolai is going to be bounding forward as a large bipedal dragon to see about trying to get his hands on Quinn's sire.
All right. You are able to cross the distance, even perhaps leaping across the pool as you would like. I'm going to say with those claws and such, you're probably able to climb up something if you want to, or if you want to try to jump up there, you can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Let's make it a strength and athletics.
All right. Oh, I do have hunger now. I got to remember that.
What is this hunger?
I might do murders, but sometimes you get hungry.
Murder's a hungry business.
It's true. 4 successes to shimmy on up there.
You do. You leap up onto that other balcony, and you are close enough to where Quinn would be. You can see him from the other angle, and you can see that Michael Morrison is still flying and is sort of close enough to that balcony edge.
Well, then I believe Nikolai is going to be leaping onto him and kind of, assuming that he currently has his back to the balcony, he will kind of jump up from behind, reach his arms over him, and plunge his claws into his chest and start allowing his weight to start dragging him down.
All right. Strength and roll.
Can do. Ooh. 8 with a messy crit.
Alrighty. He's just taken the shotgun blast, and although it did not hurt him, because of the wonderful use of fortitude, he's not really in a position to dodge.
Well, in that case, the total damage on it is 12 superficial damage that is not allowed to be halved.
I need to just check here. Why is that not in the storyteller resource? Where is it?
What you looking for?
I just accidentally zipped past fortitude. Okay. Yes, so 12 superficial, so it's not allowed to be hard. However, this person does have Flesh of Marble activated, which is going to at least help out here. If I can ever find the right freaking bitch. Apologies. This is taking a little bit. I want it down. But
Flesh of
yes,
Marble?
Yes.
While the system is active, you ignore the first source of physical damage inflicted upon you each turn, including fire, but excluding sunlight. On a critical win on an attack roll that targets you, bypasses this power's effect. If there is any confusion as to which damage should be inflicted first, the storyteller may decide. Otherwise, you ignore the most severely damaging source. Duration 1 scene.
And I did have a critical win, so I got past it.
All right, fantastic. So,
That's going to be unpleasant for him.
indeed, it is very unpleasant for him. So he's not allowed to halve any of that, but he can try and soak it if I understand.
He's like, the salesman told me this power would work.
Okay. So there is it's got a whole bunch of superficial transferred into non-superficial. And the weight of your impact with your claws going into him is dragging him down to the ground there. Not out, but you've done a hefty amount of damage here.
And Nikolai is absolutely broadcasting the exact location now at this point, because as per Horrid form, he's not allowed to intelligibly communicate, so there's just a lot of growling and snarling happening as he's dragging the weight of him down.
That would bring us to Sakura and James. As the sort of concentration that was being held on the ability has faded, and the forms of the various Mikaelas that were assaulting you have disappeared. So, it is both of your turn. You are also all of you able to notice that the mist has definitely started to lighten up. So it is a lot easier to see now. Still lightly obscured, but it's not like, pea soup.
Are we starting to break people's concentration?
Well,
we got
more like you've put people who had used the ability into dorm or death.
We got one being held down by Nikolai in a very obvious growly way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got, ignoring the torpid ones, what else do we have in the visible vicinity?
You can make a wits and awareness roll for me if you want to.
I would.
You phrase that like it's a question and optional.
I mean, I would, but honestly, the thing I care about the most right now is where the fuck is Mikaela? Don't make me burn down this damn motel.
I mean, after
And
this,
she's not screaming anymore, so it's harder to pinpoint.
Sure, she isn't.
I'm very
Could be she's alive or dead.
Shut it. No. I am very thankful to my dice for rolling 10s somewhat consistently, but I am tired of the messy crits. 5 with a messy.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I had a messy crit on mine. Do you want to do anything horrible to me? I'm fair.
Yeah, I feel like, you are very possessive over this treasure that you've got in your jaws with claws right now.
It's my body, damn it.
Drop it.
My body, I want it now.
I approve.
Yeah. Yes, so you are actually, James, taking off in the direction that you think you heard that angry screaming coming from. You're not paying attention to this figure on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to roll a rouse check That's a success. Yay. I blink in that direction.
All right. You are able to find the sort of like storage room cellar door that is currently open and able to start making your way down there as well. James. While you are coming down here, I have a question. How versed in kindred history, like old kindred history, is James?
Extremely well versed. Not only do I help run Carmelita Nielsen's library here, I also have 3 dots in occult.
Would you roll me an intelligence and occult roll as you are making your way into this chamber?
I'd love to. I'm actually going to rouse intelligence, which is another 6. I've not been getting hungry very often. That's nice.
Heck yeah.
Thankful for small favors. I am going to spend a willpower for this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crit. Regular crit.
It's starting to make sense to you. The feeling that was coming from underneath the pool, which seems to be the rough location of where this extra carved tunnel has led to. The symbology that is on the walls that has been painted in blood, and the sight that you see as you come to this pit where you see Mikaela, her hands in handcuffs, attempting to rip the throat out of a robed figure. You have read and studied about Carthage and the events that took place there. This is the resurrection of a clan that should not exist. This that they're enacting here is a very dangerous ritual conducted by Bali.
How bad is the person who Mikaela's trying to damage?
Not very.
Okay.
Kayla's like, ah! Oh, but it's not working.
I'm going to try and rip the thing's head off.
Strength and roll.
Yeah, I'm going to rouse strength. That is a failure.
All right. Sakura, what are you doing?
So, from my perspective, fake Mikaela vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
James takes off. And what about, do I see anything else happening?
You see that the mist has started to clear up, and you see a fucking dragon. Maybe something out of Alien.
It's not in my direction. Not my problem.
It has tackled and is on top of Quinn's sire. Yeah, and that is what you see. Quinn is flying.
Okay, so just a bunch of weird shit is happening.
Yeah.
but James took off.
James took
So
off.
Sakura is gonna trust that James is trying to find Mikaela and take off after him.
I don't. This is gonna be awful. Because of Blink, it says that it looks like a whoosh of wind, and I'm gone. I'm nowhere in the vicinity.
Yeah.
You may not know where I've gone to. I pulled the Twilight Vampire.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd
Just-
be able to ascertain, I just want to find Mikaela. Can I, make a check to, where I think she'd be? Because I cannot fight. I'll leave the dragon.
We'll go for a wits and awareness.
Yeah, I will let the dragon be a dragon. I can do the finding thing.
What was that strength and roll?
6 with a crit.
6 with the crit. Mikaela, James has come up and is right there by you. And you witness as James pulls the head off this person that you're trying to rip the throat of.
Mikaela is gonna turn, not talk, and just hug James.
That is 4 successes for me.
4 successes for you. I would say that James never took any damage. I would say 4 is enough for you to make out that, okay, the mist is clearing. There doesn't seem to be anybody in the little reception building. There is the little pathway that goes to behind the building. You're pretty sure the dragon has whatever that is handled. So it's not that you know where Mikaela is, but there is a behind the motel that you can check out if you want to.
I will go in that direction because my main goal at the moment is to just find Mikaela.
All right. We will come to that. We will go to Elijah and then Quinn Sora.
He kind of just looks over where Sora is. You got that handled?
Yeah, should it be long?
Okay, I'm gonna go find the others.
Okay.
And make sure you end them. Don't be soft. Quinn, just make sure they actually take care of the problem. Last thing we need is these guys getting woken up and adding back to the ranks. He's gonna go back around to see where everyone else is. He's heading towards the pool area.
Well, Quinn was probably over by Alex.
Yeah.
Because I shot the guy and then was probably following Alex as he drags his chew toy away.
Yes. Sora.
I'm sorry, Nikolai.
With your rolls here, what is your intention with this person?
So
to torpor them, or you have one that is a ragdoll in torpor that is being smacked into the other one. The new one, are you going to torpor them or kill?
Oh, definitely torpor. So essentially, I already rolled the dice and the movements and such. So you essentially just say, they say one last step towards the individual, and they're just like, be careful, be thankful that I got you instead of Elijah. You may be able to see the light of day. And you see them, oh, not really, to them.
The light of moon.
The light of moon. And you see their muscles grow a bit as they rouse. They got hungrier, but as they got hungrier, the third eye opens. Fortunately, the device kind of keeps the third eye from being revealed, but the third eye opens to reduce their hunger as they use their Golconda ability that allows them to not get hungry one time per session. But then from there, they're going to pretty much just football and shoulder check this individual into the wall with 11 successes with a crit.
Yeah, you're definitely able to do it. This person is very torpor. Quinn, he's being held down. Nikolai, or whatever the fuck Nikolai has become, is on top of him, but he's there. The man who took your family away. The man who, in a sense, gave you this new life. But has also been just a pain in everybody's ass. WWQD.
Well, Quinn is still flying. He's gonna call. He's not sure. Did I see Nikolai transform?
No.
No.
This was behind your back.
Okay, so I have no idea what the hell this thing is. Not a single clue. Just a giant flesh monster thing. Well, I mean, he's got the right target. Is anybody else in the coterie like within earshot?
Elijah is just about there. Sakura is making her way to the back, and Sora is still upstairs. But once they have handled the individuals that are free to come back.
So Elijah's within earshot. Maybe not
Mhm.
right where I'm at, but like
on his way,
oh, okay.
but within
Can I
earshot.
see Elijah from here?
Yeah, I mean, this is Elijah is
Okay.
walking towards you. It's like
Uh,
Elijah can be very quick when he wants to.
Elijah, what the hell is what's that?
Babe, can you not do this in public, please?
Babe, who's
Masquerade Bridge 101.
Can you know what? If you've got him in your jaws, can you just squeeze harder? Because I really want to
do
hear
I
him
know
scream.
him? Is this somebody?
It's Kolya.
Ah, wow. That's crazy. That's like something from a movie.
Squeeze harder, please.
No, don't.
He's
don't
pulling out
kill
his
him.
phone to also send off a text message because he's texting his primogen. Hey, don't know who's over Covington. Need cleanup, and he sends the
Don't-
address of the motel.
And so Quinn's just kind of like quietly just no, don't kill him. He ate my family. I'm gonna eat him.
This man tried to blow me up.
That's okay. He's gonna die one
Nikolai.
way or another, right?
Nikolai, you are very possessive of this thing right now. It's yours. But how inclined would Nikolai be to allow the forbidden noms?
So, I think the way Nikolai is going to broach this is I'm going to spend a willpower to overcome the
Okay.
compulsion so that Quinn has the option to do so. However, he is going to make it very, very clear to Quinn's sire that there's only one outcome here. So he's going to, just before he lets Quinn get in there, with his claws dug deep into him, he's going to start pulling slowly apart and basically letting him get the sensation of the fact that this horrible thing is about to rip him in half before letting Quinn sink his fangs in.
Quinn doesn't have
Yeah,
fangs.
fangs.
Quinn has
Well,
baby fangs. He's gonna
His
use a
straw.
knife.
Nom however you need to.
Nom however you need to. We'll come to the forbidden nom in a second here.
Join me in low humanity. Come.
Sakura, you are able to see this entrance into this underground area here. As a Toreador, your clan bane is definitely, and James as well, your clan bane in this place is fully active. It's gross as hell down here. There's the smell of decay and death, and there, rot. There are the symbols that are painted on the walls in blood. But eventually you are able to find Mikaela and James. But before you do, Mikaela, you're hugging James.
I am.
Why did you run?
I'm sorry. We need to get you out of here.
Me? Let's get you out of here. You could have died. This place is worse than the Bahari. Come on.
Yeah. And then I kick the last guy into the pit before we go.
So there were 4 in total.
Wait. How many? Oh, so there's
you killed
2
one.
left.
There are 2 left.
Okay. Should we stop this before we go? Whatever this thing is, it can't be good.
How do I stop this? Is there any known way?
Sakura, you are just about there, and make your way and see Mikaela and James. Mikaela,
yeah.
You hear a voice in your head.
Voice in my head. Is it good old Lucy?
It is.
Alright.
This is what I warned you about. It does need to be stopped. But none of you have the capability of doing so.
Can I slow it down? And I'm speaking out loud.
I would suggest bringing in some of your furry help to deal with this.
Alright, we should just get out of here.
Yes, probably should.
Would Sakura recognize the talking out loud as being talking to someone?
Maybe.
Since she has also done that a few times.
Yeah, I mean,
But
maybe.
James noticed it too, is my question.
I mean, both of you recognize that Mikaela has spoken out loud, but you don't necessarily know if Mikaela was speaking to someone or not.
Sakura has had both Lucifer and the Dark Mother in her head, so at this point it's expected that someone is talking to someone.
If James reveals that he knows that Mikaela was speaking to someone other than him, he's not saying. Not right now, at least.
Sakura is just gonna look at Mikaela dumbfounded and just stand there because she doesn't want to make the first move.
Sakura, we need to get out of... What are you both doing here? We need to get out of here. There's a
What are we
madman.
doing here? What else would we be doing? We came to get you.
The one that you saw was not her. Don't listen to whatever its words were. Come on, Cherie, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go. And I hold Sakura's hand on the way out. Because I know that this place is not doing well for the Toreadors.
Yeah,
So,
Sakura is
get
gonna
out.
just grab her hand and just whisper, who was it? In her, like directly in her ear, even though James can probably hear it.
Mikaela mouths Lucy.
She just she makes a bit of a face but doesn't say anything. and just squeezes her hand.
On the way out, I start saying what I know about the Bali. Just to, comfort them by describing infernalists.
Yeah, sure. That
also to
sounds
educate.
fine.
Right. Let's travel back outside. Quinn, he
Straw.
is there. He is pretty much in a state of torpor at this stage with what Mikaela has been doing to him. What would you like to do?
Excellent. Quinn is elated and thankful and while he was a little bit confused when he saw Nikolai's new outfit.
Just something you picked up.
It's just something they picked up at the Goodwill. He's with Elijah's reassurance and the beast being kind of like, join me. Quinn's going to Quinn is kind of eager now to enact his vengeance finally on his unwitting, well, not unwitting, on the man who became his sire, who made him into a vampire unwittingly and destroyed his old life. So he's going to get out a knife and put his shotgun away and approach the vessel, maybe is the
So, are you intending to just drain all the blood out of this person, or in fact, actually commit the forbidden nom-noms?
Well, I think he learned about the forbidden nom-noms from Alex's character, and originally he just wanted to kill him, but now he wants to like fully consume him. He's been like, this has been in the back of his head for a long time.
All right.
He doesn't know the potential repercussions, really. He probably can't really grasp that or conceptualize it too very well because he hasn't, been a vampire for that long. It's not something that gets brought up a lot, but he just knows that it's something that really like is just a really bad thing to do to other vampires. And he's like, well, this guy's a giant asshole, so I feel like I would like to do the worst thing that you could do to a vampire.
All right. You bring up your knife and you
Before he
make an incision.
makes the incision, Nikolai is going to go ahead and lean in and actually just bite into the neck to make puncture holes for Quinn to use, and then pull back.
Thank you. Save me the trouble. Puts his knife away.
Very gentlemanly. All right, Quinn, this is how the process works. You lose 1 point of humanity immediately.
Obviously.
And what is your current humanity?
6.
Okay. And what is your blood potency? I imagine it's 1.
0.
So it can be 0? Okay. I wasn't sure it could be 0. I thought the minimum was 1, but okay, cool. So it is 6 dice versus 6 dice. So roll 6 dice. You're not including blood dice here. You just roll in 6 dice.
All right. Let's see what happens. That'll be 4 successes.
4 successes.
I can't remember it. I only read it briefly. I know it's like isn't it like a series of checks you have to make?
Yeah, you are going to be making 2 of those. So the first one is flat. So it was 4 against 4. So it's not a failure. It was not a success. So you roll again. As
Yeah, I was about to say, do you have to roll again on ties?
No. You have you have to make this the amount of times equal to his blood potency, which is not 0.
Well, yes, I would assume so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but a crit. So two 10s, a 6, a 6, and a 9.
That's 7 successes.
Okay, I'm bad with
7 successes. All
always
right.
forget the success is always double because you have to have 2 10s.
Oh,
so one
yeah.
crit's always 4 dice.
Yeah. So you gain 20 experience points, which you can spend immediately on increasing your blood potency up to a maximum of the victim's blood potency, which is 2, or you can spend them on the disciplines known by the victim. So, the disciplines known by the victim: Thin Blood Alchemy, Fortitude, and Daimoinen.
The fuck is that?
The Bali clan discipline. All these powers that they've been using this evening, that's all the Bali clan discipline. I have the rules and stuff written out there, but hey, if you want to be throwing around your own flame at people, if you want to be bringing out the sin inside people, if you want to, I don't know, curse people, you're welcome to take that.
Let the sin begin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
And I absolutely want to do this pod stream.
I feel well. So here's the thing too, right? How much is the cost? Well, let me get the damn. I have the charts here.
These would become in clan disciplines for you
right
now. As you're about to gain a clan, Quinn of the Bali.
Even in death, he curses me. So let's see. I'm looking at the experience that I had left over. I only had 4 experience. So I would say Quinn. Well, he can only go up to a maximum of blood potency 1 with 20 XP.
True.
Because it's gonna be 30 XP to hit 2 from 0. So he'll gain up. Blood potency will go up to 1. So he's starting to feel more like a real boy, and no more Pinocchio. And he gains. And I would say that because he doesn't really have control over what he's gaining from his sire. I feel like he may. I feel like he would get that Bali discipline. Yeah. I feel like he would be in because of the act, right? Like it's a obvious, like I'm diablerizing him. I'm draining everything and I'm gaining power for better or worse. So he gets that and is and he's probably gonna, I don't know how he's gonna discover that he has. He's gonna probably just feel it and be like, this is weird, and then go, oh.
I will type it up for you and send you the list of disciplines and how they work. But yes, so you can take as many points in that as you have experience points for it. And you, my dear Quinn, are now a proud 13th generation Bali.
Oh. In nominis Padre.
And I don't want to end it just there. Sakura, Mikaela, and James have learnt about the Bali and walked up to see the shriveled, rapidly decaying, and ashing remains of Michael Morrison as Quinn wipes his lips. And that's a good place to end. Blood on the Bayou.
Welcome back, mother truckers.
Chapter
Jesus.
1. We're so happy to be back. And we will see all you wonderful people next week.
Look in the mirror, is that what you saw? You act like a diamond, you act like a star. You can't control feelings, the look of the sun will see through the eyes of a human at all. Oh, that's when I told you that you sold yourself. Clouds are raining, scarecrows ain't scaring, the music's reflecting, nothing at all. Your lips are shaking, your skin is shedding off.